Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. And this I want to be talking about people calling Game Pass piracy. Okay. I can understand people maybe not wanting to use Game Pass. I get that. I have no problem with that. Cool. Fully understood. But here's the thing. If you really truly think that companies that put their games on Game Pass aren't getting some money out of it, you're out your mind. Bad thing is, even even Amazon had a program like this for mobile games when you got certain games through the Amazon App Store for free on Android. Like, it was, I think they were called Actually Free or something like that. That was the line of games. And Amazon just gave them to people for free. Those developers are getting paid for those games. And many of those apps were apps that you had to pay for in order to get on other platforms. I know because I looked. Now, I was curious as to how that worked out a while back. I think the game that I did this for originally was Justice Chronicles, because I had gotten it free through Amazon and I was playing it, and I was like, how do they get paid for this? I figured they get paid on a download. That's an obvious. They get paid something on a download. But what I also found out when I looked into it further is that Amazon actually pays them for how long someone's been playing the game. I think the rate differs depending on the game or the type of game. But for games that that were meant to be purchased, the longer someone plays the game, the more money the developer gets from it. At least that's my understanding for what I read for Amazon. Now, I would assume that there's something very similar to that for, Xbox and for Game Pass. It may even be like that for freaking Epic, for the Epic Game Store, because people get lots of free games from the Epic Game Store. You get like one or two every week. So, for people sitting there thinking, like, well, if you're getting something off Game Pass, it's basically piracy. And yes, I did see that stupidity on my timeline on Twitter. But I've also heard other people say similar things. Like, well, I don't want to get stuff on Game Pass because I want to support the developers and I want to support the publishers. Here's the thing. You can get a game on Game Pass and play it, and they'll still get paid for it. But if you really, truly feel like you want to support them directly through you playing it, purchase the game after you download it if you actually liked it. That will get them more money. That will give them more money. You have the opportunity to do that. Another thing to take into consideration, that, hey, Microsoft might be doing the model like Amazon was for the mobile games. Like, oh, your game is on here? Cool. So they downloaded it? Cool, you get a couple bucks for the download, and then you get some money for people playing the game. Like, they may have something clocking how much time you're spending on the game, because you can't play these games without having your internet connected to it. Which sucks, but you can't. You can't play these games without being connected to the internet. Or at least you can't launch them without being connected to the internet. So there's got to be something keeping time on these. At least that's what makes sense to me when I'm thinking about it. That makes the most sense. There's something keeping time on these things. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. Because, there would be a lot of companies just giving away their games for free, and I doubt that they're all going to do that. So you'd have to think there's a benefit in this for them. Otherwise, Game Pass wouldn't be as big as it is. I mean, just thinking, using, logic and reasoning. Instead of just saying, well, Game Pass is piracy. There's a difference between legally obtaining a game or basically legally renting a game, because not every game on Game Pass stays on there. You don't get to just keep them. And if the Game Pass if the game comes off Game Pass and is still on your system or on your PC, when you try to launch it, it will not launch. You'll either have to purchase the game or delete it. Those are your options. So no, it's not piracy. It befuddled me that someone could be so cerebrally inept. My tongue got tied, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's going to be another one. Cerebrally inept. Cognitively deficient. We got cognitively deficient, cerebrally inept people. I hate when my tongue gets tied because it makes me sound like I don't know what I'm saying. But if you really truly think that companies aren't making money off the stuff that they put on Game Pass, you are out of your freaking mind. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of how they get paid through Game Pass because I haven't been able to sit down and spend the time to really look into it. But again, I assume, just logically speaking, that it has to be a very similar system to what Amazon was setting up. Hell, Amazon games on your PC may even be set up the very same way, where you're getting a bunch of games that you don't have to pay openly for, but you're paying your Amazon Prime subscription, which is allowing you to get those games. So a piece of what you pay for your subscription is what gives you those games. So again, the companies that are putting the games out there on these platforms like this are making money. They're getting money somehow. Yeah, and I know a lot of these games are not free to play, but again, you're getting them through what are essentially rental services in most cases. The games with gold, those stay with you. I mean, the Xbox One and later games are all basically rentals at that point, but you get to keep the rental. It's a permanent rental, which is weird to say. Whereas the Xbox 360 games, you can keep no matter what. You can play them offline or online. But goodness, people, come on. Don't sit here and keep saying that Game Pass is equivalent to piracy. That's... Oh, your brain must be slicker than a freshly mopped floor. It must be. Because that's the only way that I could think anybody would think that that makes sense. The only way. I mean, like, somebody literally must be able to, like, your brain must be as slick as black ice. If someone were to touch it, they would slide off of it immediately. It's just, come on, people. You gotta think there's no way in the world that, like, these companies have to have a way to make money. They're not just going to put their stuff on the service that's not going to pay them for it. It would be stupid. It would be extremely stupid of them. And then y'all just say, well, this is piracy. But, like, you might as well just pirate the game. So going and finding the game and the files and illegally downloading it and installing it onto my system or PC without actually giving money to the people that made the game or who published the game is the same as using a service that the publishers and developers actually agree to put their games on, that allows you to download them without having to pay an additional fee, because you're still paying for it. It's not free. So those two things are the same? Those two things are legitimately the same, is what some people would have you think. Okay. We'll leave you in the class by yourself, little Timmy. We'll leave you in the class by yourself because you need to be in your own little world right now. But all jokes aside and stuff, like seriously, you can't be thinking that they're just going to do this with no benefit to themselves. It's not how business works. Businesses work in partnerships and contracts. There is no way they're going to do something that does not benefit them in some way, shape, or form, or that they don't think will benefit them in some way, shape, or form. But just keep stay in that bubble and isolate yourself from everybody because you feel like you are so much more intelligent when you're absolutely not. But that's it. I'm not going to drag this on too much longer. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, everybody.